What's up, guys? I'm Joe. This is Tim, and we're JT Sports Talk.
And we're going to start off our first episode by talking about about Super Bowl 45, the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. What were your thoughts on the game?
You know what? I'm really not surprised that the Packers won the game. To me, everyone picked them to win. Everybody. And you had a select few that said the Steelers were going to win, but 9 out of 10 people were going around saying Green Bay's winning this game. And you know what? How can you deny Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he is a very good quarterback in the playoffs. You're right about that. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, which should have been a lot better if it weren't for probably about 10 drop passes in the game. I mean, the guy could have easily thrown for almost 5 touchdowns, 400 yards. Against a Steeler defense that's supposed to be one of the elite, that has won 2 championships before.
Well, I mean, you know, it's just funny because, like, the Steelers pride themselves on defense.
Yes.
And to be perfectly honest, yes,
they seem like they have almost no idea what they were doing.
Yeah,
they seemed overmatched.
But they
passing game.
If you watch the game, they kind of looked as they played in the AFC Championship game, the second half.
Yeah.
There was a lot of similarities at the end of that game that went into the Super Bowl. They just looked lackadaisical. You had Palomalu missing coverage, and they just didn't look like the Pittsburgh Steelers that we're used to, you know?
Well, the one thing that I was intrigued by was that Mendenhall had such a great game of it running the ball. But it seems like the Steelers kind of stayed away from that and put the game into Big Ben's hands, which, you know, you could make an argument the Steelers lost because of Big Ben. I mean, with the pick six, you know, another pick that led to a touchdown. The fourth quarter drive, the drive at the end of the game. I mean, he didn't give the plays to the receivers. They had no idea what was going on. I mean, but then again, you can also blame the coaches. I mean, you have Mike Tomlin going for a 53-yard field goal. For what reason? I have no idea.
Well, there's a lot of reasons of why the Steelers lost this game, but it is what it is.
You give it to Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is finally out of Brett Favre's shadows. Actually, this something Brett Favre didn't do and win Super Bowl MVP. But the one good thing about the Super Bowl being done is that baseball season is right around the corner, with pitchers and catchers reporting less than a week away.
You know what? I'm really excited for baseball.
Yes.
You know, I've missed it.
I have to.
I've missed it.
By the way, just a keynote, since we are big Yankee fans, I'd like to thank Andy Pettitte for all the great years on the Yankees. And it's sad to see you go, especially when there's such turmoil with the rotation.
We will miss you
very much,
greatly,
especially after this year. I mean, when you have Mitre as your fifth starter, do I really need to say any more than that? I mean, you have CeCe Sabathia, who you can consider reliable. You have Philip Hughes, who I like Phil Hughes. In my mind, I still don't know what we're going to get out of him.
I'm comfortable with him. I like him more than A.J. Burnett.
Well, I was just going to say, then you have a third starter, the head case, A.J. Burnett, who, I mean, he'll pitch 6 innings, shutout ball, go into that 7th inning, give up 8 runs.
Or he'll, give up 10 runs in the first inning.
Oh, yes, a man who has almost no heart when he pitches.
I got to tell you, I don't miss those games.
And that's one thing I'm actually very sick about with A.J. Burnett. I mean, you constantly hear from the Yankee announcers saying about how his stuff is so great, so electric. Well, if that's the case, then why is it whenever they make contact on his pitches, it's always out of the park?
Well, I mean, you know what? When he's on, he's on. Well, but, man, he's off more than he's on.
One thing I'll say,
that's the truth.
One thing I will say about AJ, it's either he has his A game or no game.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? It's gonna be a tough year because if you look at the AL East, I mean, it's even the Orioles. The Orioles are looking
very much. Yes,
their lineup. Their lineup is top notch.
First base. They signed Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah,
recently.
Mark Reynolds from the Diamondbacks. He hit 32 home runs last year.
Yeah. The one thing you will say about the Orioles is that their bullpen and pitching is a little suspect, but they did just sign Dusher or whatever. Dusher.
Yeah.
And to me, though, the Rays, I think, are going to completely fall out of it after losing one of their big-time pitchers and losing Crawford and
I think they lost too much to recover from so quickly.
But the Red Sox seem like
Red Sox look really good.
They should be a World Series favorite, as much as I hate to say it. I mean, their rotation is great, except for Matsuzaka. You have your bullpen consists of Bard, Bobby Jenks, Papelbon. I mean, if they get any lead within the 7th through 9th inning, it's almost game over for them.
Oh, definitely. I mean, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Papelbon, I think he's a little bit overrated. But still, the man's got he can throw the ball. He can definitely throw the ball.
Their rotation is definitely better than ours.
It's definitely going to be a competitive
better than ours. You can make a case that it is better than
ours. I don't necessarily think that their lineup is better than ours. I think we're a lot more seasoned than they are. But I mean, I feel like our lineup is just as competitive, just as tough to get through. I mean, you can't deny Teixeira, A-Rod, Cano, Posada. That's Jeter. And then even Curtis Granderson, I would say he had an off year last year.
Well, a lot of his hits though last year seemed to be big time clutch hits.
Right. But the home runs were down. A lot of Yankee fans thought a lot of the Yankee fans thought that he hit 40 home runs with the Tigers.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why he shouldn't be hitting 40 home runs with the Yankees or even 50 home runs with the Yankees. With that lineup, he should be seeing pitches. He should be seeing great pitches. I mean, exactly, meatballs.
The one thing I will say, it seems like the Red Sox will pretty much run away with this division, if you ask me. But I think in order for the Yankees to have a chance of winning it, you can't have CeCe get off to his usual slow starts. You can't have Teixeira start off slow. You need Jeter to have a bounce back year.
They need a lot to happen.
They do need a lot. They need Nova.
They need Nova to step up
with the rotation. Yeah. Nova, our 4th starter.
Yeah.
Do we know what we're going to get out of him? No. I mean, and if we're going to have problems we'll have with Nova too is that will he be on an inning limit?
That whole innings limit thing I think is
garbage anyway,
I think it's a mistake because that's what they screwed up Jabba with that.
Yeah.
The Jabba rules. Well, look how great he turned out.
Yeah, well, you better stop his little fist pumps. I'm getting a little sick of that. I mean,
do some. Yeah, exactly. Get someone out, then do some fist pumps. It was fine for him to get excited his first year, doing them fist pumps and everything. But he was throwing 100 miles an hour, striking people out.
What was he pitching to, like a .7 ERA? I mean, he was doing pretty good that first season.
Well, I mean, I'm excited. Baseball's back.
Baseball, thank God.
But we do have a question for you.
Yeah, we have a question for you, the fans. Does this recent Super Bowl loss to the Packers hurt Big Ben's legacy? Please let us know in the comments below.
Subscribe, rate us if you like us. If you don't like us, you don't have to rate us.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. If you think he's fat, let us know. If you think I look funny, let me know. We appreciate your comments. Talk to you later.
Adios.